Hey guys, welcome back to another coral feeding video. In today's video, we are going to be feeding my Acan Lords. So I just want you guys to, if you look behind the Acan Lords, you can see in the sand, it's my fighting conch. So he's just in there trying to get some food out of the sand. And also in the foreground, you can see there's quite a few pods. Okay, so the food's down. I feed them Reef Roids. And you can see right off the bat, there is a great feeding response. So if you have acans and you haven't fed them, what I find is, or what I've found is, acans are one of the coral that really benefit from a good feeding. I've noticed a direct correlation between regular feedings and their growth rates in terms of how many new heads and mouths that they create. So if you have never fed your acans, I would suggest that you do look into feeding them. This is all going to depend on your tank. If you have a ton of fish and you feed your fish, then your acans are probably getting a ton of food just from fish waste, as well as, any type of food that falls into their mouths instead of having the fish eat them. Acan Lords, I definitely put in the top 5 for beginner hobbyists. In my experience, the Acan Lords that I have come across have been extremely hardy. They come in a wide variety of colors, and they're just really nice looking. In fact, I would say 2018, second half of 2018 was a large year for the Acan Lords. One of the things I have not mentioned is this video is sped up 5 times. The only time I kind of slowed it down was when I initially fed them, because that's where most of the action is. Now all we're really seeing is the Reef Roids are on these coral, and what's happening is they have a type of mucus on them, and they're using that mucus to direct the food to each of the mouths. Let's go over some of the geography of where these acans are found. During the ban in 2018, when Indonesia stopped exporting their coral, what happened was, at least in Canada, we started importing a lot more from Australia. And what we're seeing from Australia were like a ton of very nice rainbow acans. So acans that used to be just a red or a green, like they used to go for quite a bit of money. And I think what happened when these rainbows came in were those regular acans, they got depressed a little bit. So there's some really nice Australian Acan Lord specimens out there. There are also Acan Lords from, I've seen people talk about them from Vietnam, and I've also seen something being posted from Japan. If you look at these 3 acans, I believe the one on the very left is definitely Australian. I'm not sure if the middle one is Australian. It's kind of shaped a little differently. And it's not got that classic, what I consider a classic Australian type of pattern on it. It kind of looks like a Vietnamese one, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And the one on the very one on the right, I believe it must have been collected in 2016 or 2017. I got it from a local fish guy that runs a store out of his basement. And that one, I'm almost positive it's not Australian. Because again, it doesn't have the Australian Acan markings. And it's also got a kind of a different growth pattern. It just looks different. I do think it's an Acan Lord, but it may have been harvested from a place that they no longer harvest from. So it's not very colorful. It's kind of like a dull pink. I got it as one head and it's grown to 4 heads, but as you can see, like the growth pattern's a bit different, and it's hard to feed all 5 heads. So normally I end up just feeding the one mouth right at the very top. That's it for me, guys. Thumbs up if you liked it, subs if you loved it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.